Good morning and welcome to the VSA Capital 5-Minute Morning Miner on Tuesday, May the 24th. Morning, Paul. How are you?
I am well, thank you, and had a good downpour of rain here not that long ago here.
Yep, it'll be good for the garden, good for the vegetables, because it's probably going to be the last rain we're going to have for about a fortnight. And, of course, it is going to be dry, I'm predicting now, for the Jubilee Platinum celebrations and the street parties.
Oh, glad to hear that. Yeah, glad to hear
I'm
it.
forecasting it now. There you
Okay.
go. I want to say this morning, I think that Rishi Sunak and his wife should actually be imposed upon with a £500 million windfall tax because they've made extraordinary profits recently. It's only fair that if he's imposing windfall tax on companies, that he faces one himself. How about that, Rishi? Cough up your own money instead of stealing it from everybody else. Sorry, that was a bit of a rant. Now, you've been at 1-to-1. I gather it's pretty quiet, Paul.
Well, interesting. It is fewer people showing up than the previous 1-to-1 here. I'm not quite sure why that might be, but it did start on a Monday. And as many places and cities around the world know, that a lot of workers are not coming in on Mondays and Fridays now, preferring to work from home rather than commute. So we'll see if the Tuesday attendance is better today.
I think actually one of the problems is that everybody is just so turned off by the stock market at the moment, unfortunately. Maybe just don't want to go along. Anyway, let's turn to some news. And actually, the one that caught my eye this morning, Paul, was AfriTin, because we all think of it as a Namibian tin company, but it's turning into a Namibian lithium company, isn't it? That's some pretty good lithium results they've got there.
Well, that's the thing. It was fairly obvious if a person actually saw any pictures, to a geologist anyway, with some experience, that saw some pictures a few years ago from where they were going to be recovering tin, that the lithium minerals were pretty pronounced at large in these pegmatites, and they've confirmed that these are lithium minerals. In fact, it's this latest metallurgical testing result is showing that they can produce a nice petalite concentrate, and petalite is the other primary lithium crystal besides spodumene, which is produced commercially around the world. And petalite is preferred specifically by the glass and the pharmaceutical industry because it is naturally lower in iron content than spodumene. So the fact that they can produce a nice saleable concentrate of petalite just that much better for this U.S. tin district.
Yeah, the trouble is, though, Paul, isn't it? Paul, I mean, glass and ceramics and things, which need this petalite, they're not about to go through the roof. It's EVs that are going through the roof. Can we actually convert this petalite into a hydroxide?
The answer to that is yes, it can. The thing that the pharmaceutical and the glass industry prefer, however, is to use the petalite, but they are also concerned that because the demand is so great for all of the lithium minerals, that their price for their concentrates they have to buy also have to go up.
Yeah, but I still think, that if this is going to be a successful lithium project, we need to know that we can actually convert it into a hydroxide. I don't know how more expensive the process will be to do that. Anyway, we'll ponder upon that for another day, maybe. Now, Australian vanadium, it's an ASX listed vanadium producer. Obviously, what's some news out there, Paul?
They had a successful fundraise here that they've reported here today. With them, it was 425 million new shares priced at just under 5 cents to raise 20 million Australian before costs. And this fundraise is for working capital needs in order to push their Australian vanadium project in West Australia, which is an iron titanium vanadium deposit there toward its final investment decision to be made in the coming months here as they prepare the last of the documentation for banks and other providers of finance to have a close review of.
Obviously, there's a lot of chitter chatter about vanadium. Everyone seems to be keen on it because of flow batteries, but we need those flow batteries to get out there and sold and in use for the vanadium to be of use, really. Okay, what else have you got, Paul, that you want to mention this morning? That's of major interest. Come on, we don't want the little snippets.
you don't want you don't want little snippets. Well, it's not a little snippet for the shareholders of and the little company AIM quoted Ironveld. They are buying a existing electric arc furnace smelter project in the Rustenburg district of South Africa out of administration. They're getting it at an awfully cheap price. Of just a few million sterling, and it essentially moves them so much further ahead as far as the development of their own iron, tie, vanadium resources down in South Africa. So, if the refurbishment of this plant goes to plan, and that is a big if in this case because they're not as easy as they might first appear to be refurbished. It will still be a great deal for the shareholders of Ironville.
Yeah, trouble is South Africa is just so difficult. Putting money down there is a tricky one. Okay, anything else you want to quickly mention? And don't tell me that you want to talk about the Elizabeth line in London, which did officially open today, by the way. And of course, one of its stops is Liverpool Street Station, which is right by the VSA offices. So you can jump on the Elizabeth line to come and visit us.
Well, there you just talked about it yourself. So I'll talk about Cornish Metals instead. Cornish Metals officially closed on that 40.5 million sterling that was promised by Mick Davis's Vision Blue Fund today in order to push ahead with now the dewatering of the South Crofty tin mine in Cornwall.
And okay, here's a little question for you, Paul. How much do you think that dewatering is going to really cost?
How much will it really cost? It won't cost 40.5 million, I can tell you that, but it'll be in the range of maybe 15, 20 million, something like that.
I think I'm a buyer. Energy prices have gone through the roof, and that's going to be quite a complex dewatering. But we'll see. Look, we wanted to get back into production. We're very bullish on all of Cornish and southwest of England mining. It just needs to get itself going, which is easier said than done. On that note, let's call it a day, and we'll speak again tomorrow.
Very good. See you then.